first time that I came close to having 1 million pesos. I was in my late 20s. So around the age of 26, maybe 27 years old. Hindi ko na matandaan kung magkano exactly, pero I think it was between 700 to 800,000 at the time. And then lalo ko siya napalaki. And I lived happily ever after. Siyempre, kung subscriber ka na talaga ng channel na to, alam mo na I lost it all plus nabaon pa ako sa utang a few years after that. Kwento ko yan, how I lost my life savings. And if you're interested, meron akong video dyan. Meron din akong videos actually kung paano ko siya nabawi and more. Took me more than 27 years. Hindi pa rin ako nakahawak ng 1 million pesos na akin na pagmamayari ko. Tapos nawala and then nakuha ko rin siya eventually after about 8 years. So guys, kung mangangarap na lang din tayo and i-apply natin yung same principle. Yung 1M, hindi ko siya na-reach 27 years, tapos nawala, tapos in about mga 8 years, nakuha ko rin siya. Kung mangangarap ako na magkaroon ako ng 10 million, sa tingin nyo ilang taon bago ko siya makuha? Probably you would say 8 times 10, 80, maybe 40 years kalahati. Pwede kayang 20 years, or posible kaya nun ng 15 years lang. 10 million in 15 years. Sa totoo lang, ang estimate ko sa sarili ko is I should be able to reach this goal in about 5 years time or maybe less, depende sa mga next moves ko. In case you're wondering, sakto yung video na to because I will be sharing with you why 10 million is easy, 1 million is hard. Again, ulitin ko, mas madaling umabot sa 10 million versus getting your first million. So, unang reason kung bakit mas madaling makuha yung 10 million versus doon sa 1 million, because starting from scratch is hard. Dagdag mo na dito and mas malaking factor, only a few people has the mental fortitude to endure, magtiis, magtiyaga para makuha yung first 1 million nila. Napakarami mong pagtsatsagaan na overtime, investment sa negosyo, pagtitipid, mga gadgets na hindi mo bibilin, mga restaurant na hindi mo pupuntahan, mga out of town na hindi mo papasyalan. Hindi ka makakapag-flex sa mga kaklase or katrabaho mo. And every time may naiipong kang konting halaga, ginagastos mo kaagad. Gawa tayo ng quick exercise, guys. Let's project your life a few years from now. So for example, if you are under the age of 25, actually most of my viewers are 18 to 35. So for example, lang kunwari, nasa 25 years old ka and you have saved 100,000 right now. Extra cash mo siya. Sa tingin mo, kung mag-iipon ka, gaano kabilis mong makuha yung 200,000, 300,000, 500,000, 6, 7, 8, 900,000 up to 1 million. Ilang taon mo siyang pag-iipunan. So kung ang run rate mo ng ipon mo is 100,000 per year, it will take you until the age of 25 bago mo makuha yung first 1 million mo. And that is of course kung religious ka nagsasave, yung spouse mo rin masinop sa pera, wala ka masyadong mga incidental expenses. And kahit nasabihin na natin tumaas yung sahod mo, meron tayong tinatawag guys na lifestyle creep. Ang ibig sabihin nun, the more income that you're earning, the more na lumalaki yung expenditures mo. And that's precisely my point. Saving up your way into a 1 million peso net worth is very hard. Once naman na-reach mo na siya, you will be starting to play with the big boys league. So less na yung worries mo sa mga pang-araw-araw mo na gastos. Once na-reach mo yung goal na yan, yung 1 million pesos na yan, not only that, it frees up your mental capacity to learn more about how you can grow that 1 million into 10 million pesos. So if I have 1 million pesos right now, this is how I will spend it to have 10 million pesos as soon as possible. So yung 1 million pesos na yan, I will take out around 20,000 pesos to learn new skills, high value skills that I can use para mas mag-generate ako ng revenue para sa sarili ko. So it can be coding, SEO, ads, digital marketing, or selling high-ticket items. So kung mapapansin mo, halos lahat ng binanggit ko na skills are very scalable. Ang ibig sabihin dito, mas madali siyang palakihin without additional cost sa akin. Yung ads, yung coding, yung selling, yung marketing, pwede kong palawakin yung sakop ko. Whereas kung kailangan ko mag-manual labor, for example, magkakarpentero ko, magkahardinero ko, or magtatrabaho ako ng isang shift sa opisina, kailangan physically nandun ako ng 8 hours para madoble ko lang yung kita ko. Whereas dun sa mga na-mention ko na skills before, you can actually scale your results. Next, I will get 50,000 to open a business. Some people will say, Jo, makaliit naman ng 50,000. Makakapag-start ka ba ng business dyan? Actually, depende yan. Ako kasi, na-experience ko na mag-talyer, mag-fiberglass, mag-buy and sell ng sasakyan, mag-open ng convenience store, mag-supplier ng mga motorcycle parts and accessories. Dami ko na naging negosyo eh. May 10 na yata eh. Pero that's for a separate video. Siguro i-upload ko na lang sa Usapang Negosyo series. Iisa-isahin ko lahat na naging negosyo ko before. Kung ano yung mga natutunan ko na na-apply ko sa mga next na naging investment and negosyo ko. Pero going back, I think 50,000 is more than enough. Yung purpose actually ng 50,000 na to is sumubok sa iba't ibang negosyo na minimal lang yung capital. More on sweat equity pa rin yung gagawin natin, guys. More on hands-on approach pa rin. Bakit? Bakit mo nasabi? Kasi by this time, pinaprioritize ko pa rin yung pag-aaral, yung learning, yung making mistakes and improving for the next version ng businesses. So 70,000 pala yung nagastos ko, may 930,000 pa ako. Ang next expense ko for that 1 million to turn it to 10 million is to network with other business owners or other business contacts or mentors. So for this one, binadgetan ko lang ng 500 pesos every weekend. So 250 Saturday, 250 Sunday. Parang budget lang to sa kape. So, diba, hindi naman masama mag-Starbucks, lalo na kung may 1 million ka na. Kinompute ko na rin yon guys, it will cost you roughly around 26,000 per year. So, sabihin mo na lang 30, i-round off na lang natin sa 30,000. So, that's already 100,000, may 900,000 ka pa. So, may business ka na, you have new skills, and you're also networking. Kape-kape lang, Starbucks for 1 year. Kahit 10 taon ka nagkakape every weekend, di mo maubos yung 1 million mo. Next is, I will buy the time off. Ang ibig ko lang sabihin dito is yung mga VL, i-avail ko na lahat. Kasi usually, di ba sa companies, ginagawa nila convertible to cash. Bakit mo i-avail? You will lose money on that. Sayang naman. Kasi for me, malaki pa naman yung savings mo. May 900,000 ka pa eh. So, I'd rather spend yung hours or days na yon going back doon sa business ko. Naalala niyo yung 50,000 na simulan ko. Babalik ko lang doon yung attention ko. And networking more. Tapos, learning more doon sa mga skills na nabanggit ko. So, you're actually sort of buying extra time to pursue things na mas mapapalapit ako doon sa 10 million na yun. Next expenditure ko is 50,000 per year devoted into gadgets or software na mas mapapadali yung trabaho ko. Ang example ko dito is Adobe Creative Suite or video editing apps, planning apps like Notion or Trello. Actually, you can also just use the free versions. So, kung yung budget ko na 50,000, hindi ko naubos sa laptop, pwede ko siyang i-divert into other things like AI tools or apps na mas may improve yung productivity ko. Tapos, magagamit ko rin doon sa mga business na sinimulan ko, share ko din and makakahingi ako ng feedback doon sa mga mini-meet ko with coffee na business owners din kasi nagne-network ako. Tapos, ma-apply ko rin dahil nag-aaral din ako ng mga scalable skills na na-mention ko kanina. So, ang budget ko dyan is 50,000 per year. Hindi niyan mauubos yung 1M. Kaya naman, dagdagan pa natin. So, number 6, ang next expenditure ko is insurance. So, yung insurance, pwedeng basic life insurance lang or pwedeng VUL. So, meaning, if something happens to you or you get sick, may benefit ka makukuha, which is in the millions na rin yun actually. Pero yun naman is more of magagamit ko na lang for retirement purposes. Lalo na kung may VUL yun. So, basically, they are investing like a mutual fund on your behalf. So, you're technically putting money sa stock market. These are all done within the first year. I still have 840,000 left. Yung next na expenditure ko, number 7, will be for closed real estate or pre-selling condo or lote na rush sale or maybe combination ng tatlo, guys. Again, ang magiging strategy ko naman dito is monthly na lang kasi of course pag kinash mo yun, ubos talaga kaagad yung 840,000 mo. So I'd rather pay in monthly installments. And then last but not least, I will invest something into crypto. So kanya-kanyang preference tayo. Some people prefer stocks. I honestly prefer crypto or anything that is new. Especially dito sa Pilipinas, kahit nag-i-invest ako more than 10 years na sa stock market, napakababa ng returns. Masyadong matagal. But then again, it's your choice kasi sa VUL naman, meron na rin akong ganong factor. I'm still quite young. Wala namang problema sa akin. I'd rather have some of my assets be kept on the more on speculative, high risk, high reward such as crypto. Tapos, actually, yun na yun. All you have to do is wait, invest month in, month out, year on year, hindi biglaan. I'd rather do it regularly, steadily, slowly, para at the same time, naaaral ko rin. Employed na ako, nakaipon na ako ng 1M, so nandun na yung skills, no? Alam ko na, nandun na yung prudence, yung mental fortitude, yung tibay ng dibdib na kaya kong mag-ipon ng 1 million. So most likely, kung nakaipon ako ng 1 million, hindi ko ginagasta yung 1 million kasi whatever has cost me to get that 1 million, whether work yan, or business yan, or talagang magaling lang ako magtipid, hindi naman ako nagbago nung nakuha ko yung 1 million. Unlike a lot of people, when they get this type of money, anong gagawin nila? Bibili ng kotse, bibili ng SUV, maglo-loan or whatever. Buti sana kung bibili ng bahay kasi okay lang yun, mag-a-appreciate din yun. So walang problema pagka pinasok mo siya sa real estate. Pero project lang tayo, kunwari fast forward tayo for a couple of years. Tignan natin kung ano yung magiging more or less resulta ng plano ko. So I have high value skills, no? Either coding or SEO, marketing, ad spend, high ticket sales. So lahat ng yan makakatulong sa productivity ko. I'm sure even if hindi pa ako full-time business owner by that time, kahit papano nakakatulong yan. Number 1, sa trabaho ko. And number 2, dun sa small business on the side na ginagawa. Yung small business on the side, sabihin nga natin hindi siya talaga lumalaki. Pero at the same time, as long as marami akong natatry na ideas, especially may network ako and meron akong skill, eventually, tataas or lalaki ng lalaki din yan and magugulat ka na lang. Yun lang business mismo will generate you millions in itself. Of course, yung insurance, peace of mind na yun. So, you can probably get around 2 or 3 million or something like that. So, yun pa lang, safe na yung family mo. Yung maganda actually yung condo or yung real estate or yung foreclosed property. So, in span of about 5 years or 10 years, lalo na yung mga familiar dito, yung mga bumili ng condo before, di ba? Yung worth 1.5, 2 million, 2.5 or 3 million, sometimes they can go for around 4 million or 5 million na pagka maganda na yung lugar. Or even dun sa RFO pa lang, kahit less than 1 million pa lang yung nahuhulog mo, sometimes may bumibili sa'yo, nakikita ka ng halos doble dun sa hinulog mo. Tapos, rinse and repeat. So, kinuha mo yung kita mo, invest mo lang ulit sa mga ibang types of real estate. And then finally, yung crypto, alam naman natin ang pattern niyan, almost nagpa 5x to 10x siya every time nagbo-bull run siya. So, ang estimate ko dito is between about 4 to 6 years yung cycle ng crypto, tumataas siya ng tumataas. So, ang ending, this is what you will have. Meron kang arsenal of high-value skills. You have your own business on the side. Tapos, employed ka pa, so nakakaipon ka doble-doble. You have a good network of mentors, business owners. You always have the latest tech. You can learn from the latest tools and even AI and other software na magagamit mo as advantage para dun sa mga businesses mo. You have insurance, which is millions in itself. Pero basically, ito for peace of mind talaga. You have properties like real estate, condominiums, or vacant lots. Tapos meron kang investment on the high risk, high reward, which is crypto. Imagine, basically, medyo boring na nga siya, di ba? All you have to do is pass the time. Hayaan mong bigyan ng oras yung investments mo para lumaki. Eventually, you can reap the rewards kapag ka nag-bear fruit na sila, pagka tumaas na yung value nila. Napakasarap isipin na things are falling into place. Kumbaga sa chess, nagawa mo na lahat ng right moves. Alam mo na mananalo ka na sa buhay. All you have to do is sit back and watch things as they happen. Stay consistent lang. Now, i-flip naman natin and imagine yung majority ng people na walang 1 million, walang interest magkaroon mag 1 million. Hindi sila naniniwala na kaya nilang makakuha ng 1 million. Kontento na sila na regular talaga nagkukulang yung sahod nila just for the basic needs and expenses. Andyan yung pag nagkaroon ng konting bonus, nagkaroon ng pera kahit wala pang ipon, panay add to cart tapos check out, panay kain sa labas, nasa galaan out of town, inom pa ng inom tuwing weekend. Nasa-stress sila kaya sila nagbibisyo para makapag-unwind. Tapos yung bisyo nila nagiging cost din ng stress nila kaya magbibisyo sila ulit. Tapos pag may family emergency or emergency purchase na kailangan ayusin, ayan na, kakaskas na ng credit card or mangungutang. So do you think those kinds of habits kaya nilang maging millionaire or may pag-asa pa bang maging millionaire? Kaya naman for the next video of this series, I will be sharing with you my steps to get your first 1 million starting as a teenager. So if that's something that you're into, watch out for the next upload, guys. If you like this video, of course, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, and follow me on my socials. Salamat sa panonood, guys. Jomak here. I'll see you on the next video.